Let's talk math in music. In this video, we are going to be using the 4/4 time signature for all examples. Let's create a musical tree of time value. In this example, I will be using note instead of rest. At the top, we have the whole note worth 4 beats. If we split that in half, it creates 2 half notes, each worth 2 beats, equaling 4. And if we split these again into quarter notes, each having 1 beat, and if we add them together, it will be 4 beats. If we continue to do this with 8th notes, 16th notes, and 32nd notes, we will be able to figure out how many notes of one will equal X amount of another. For example, how many quarter notes equal one whole note? Let's take a look mathematically. If a whole note is worth 4 beats divided by a 1 beat quarter note, we get 4 quarter notes. Let's check this out on our value tree. There are 1, 2, 3, 4 quarter notes beneath the whole note. Next, let's see how many 8th notes equal 1 quarter note. We have 1 quarter note worth 1 beat divided by an 8th note worth half of a beat, we get 2. 2 8th notes equal 1 quarter note. Let's check it out on the tree. Beneath 1 quarter note is 2 8th notes. Now let's see if we have 4 8th notes, how many half notes will we have? We have 4 8th notes times each 8th note is worth half a beat. And this will equal 2 beats. What note is worth 2 beats? The half note. If we look at a tree, there are 4 8th notes under 1. Now let's use our brains for this one. We have 32 16th notes. How many whole notes will we have? We have 32 8th notes times each 8th note is worth a quarter of a beat. We will have 8 beats. We are looking for whole notes. If we have 8 beats divided by 1 whole note is worth 4 beats, and it will give us 2 whole notes. Let's check that on the tree. There are 16 16th notes beneath 1 whole note, and if we add another 16, we get 32, equaling 2 whole notes. Now how many 32nd notes will equal 1 quarter note? We know that a quarter note is worth 1 beat divided by 32nd note, which is worth 1/8 beat. We will find how many 32nd notes is worth 1 quarter note, and that is 8. Let's check the tree. It shows us that 2 32nd notes are worth 1/16. Then above that, we have 4 32nd notes worth 1/8 note, and finally doubling that, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 32nd notes equaling 1 quarter note. Let's look at another approach to having math in music. On the first column, we have the note and their beat value. In column 2, we show the trick of finding the note below the note above's value by dividing by 2. If we start at a whole note worth 4 beats, we will divide 4 by 2, equaling 2, our next note below. Taking the 2 for a half note, dividing it by 2 equals 1. The quarter note. And this will continue all the way down to the 32nd note. And even further. A little trick to figuring out fractions, take the bottom and times it by 2 if you're finding the note below. Now if we want to find the note above with greater value, we need to times the original value by 2. 32nd note, which is worth 1/8 times 2, is a quarter to the 16th note. A quarter of a beat times 2 equals a half of a beat, which is an 8th note. And if we continue this until the whole note, it will be true. And there's nothing really past a whole note. And the same thing goes with the fraction. Divide the bottom number by 2 to get a greater value. Thanks for watching, and make sure you do check out my last musical lesson, Time Signatures. Stay tuned for tomorrow's lesson, Dotted Value. Also check out my DIY video, Ice Cream Pudding, and next week's DIY video, Poppy 2016. This is a special video because all proceeds will be donated to charity. Thanks for liking, commenting, and subscribing. Happy learning!